Hey everyone, today we're talking about the religious leader's role in Jesus' death. Pilate went back to the residence and spoke to Jesus. "Where are you from?" Jesus didn't answer. So Pilate said, "You won't speak to me? Don't you know I have the authority to release you and also to crucify you?" Jesus replied, "You would have no authority over me if it had not been given to you from above. That's why the one who handed you over to me is guilty of a greater sin." And from that moment on, Pilate wanted to release Jesus. However, the Jewish leaders cried out, saying, "If you release this man, you are no friend of Caesar. Anyone who makes himself out to be a king opposes Caesar." When Pilate heard these words, he led Jesus out and seated him on the judge's bench at the place called Stone Pavement, in Aramaic, Gabbatha. It was about noon on the preparation day for the Passover. Pilate said to the Jewish leaders, "Here is your king." And the Jewish leaders cried out, take him away, crucify him." Pilate responded, "What? Do you want me to crucify your king?" "We have no king but Caesar," the chief priests answered. So you can see my previous videos this week on the nature of Christ's kingdom and also why Pilate doesn't deserve much pity. Both those ideas kind of come up in this. But today I want to focus on what's revealed about these religious leaders who want Jesus killed and crucified. For one thing, we need to remember this is just the religious leadership, the chief priests. It's not the whole Jewish population who deserves any blame here. And remember, Jesus is Jewish, so this is an internal conflict. It's not blaming a whole race of people. And it's not even the Pharisees. That's who Jesus argued with a lot during his lifetime. But here at the end, it's the priests, the ones who are in charge of the temple that want him dead. Because the temple is really the religious and political seat of their power. Because maintaining power is what it all comes down to. That's why Jesus died. Now, I'm not sure how they understood or thought, what he was going to do, but Jesus' comments about tearing down the temple, that's what really sets them off. And if you go to chapter 11, you see the high priest talking about specifically being afraid of losing their place or their temple if Rome gets upset because of what Jesus is doing. And so that is why these Jewish priests, supposed servants of the Lord and King Yahweh, the God of Israel, end up saying that Caesar is their only true king, implying to Pilate that they are better friends to Caesar than he is. They want crucifixion, right? That's why they go to Pilate, because that's a Roman punishment. It was shameful. It was a way of saying this person is not the king, and also showing this is what happens when you stand up to Rome's power. Now, I'm sure that during religious ceremonies or in private, these priests would say, no, really, we have no king but God. But their actions here prove where they really trust, right? What kind of power they believe can actually fix things, what they have faith in. Religious people afraid of losing political influence is a dangerous mix, and we see it happening today. That's what's fueling Christian nationalism and other oppressive political movements that supposedly are done in God's name and are not what Jesus wants. Jesus didn't cling to power. We know what happens when we do. So, what will happen if we instead choose to take Jesus' path?